Alright, that's one of the big old birds that's been tough on us. I'm going to try to slip around and get into one of my plots and maybe just set up on the ground again. They were in there midday the other day, and man, they were tough. So I'm going to try more of a kind of a softer tactic and not get crazy on the column. There's a couple other birds too, so I need to get in here and do some burning today. So just thought I'd kind of do a little bit of a mid-morning hunt and try something different. Alright, well, as you can see, that sun's kind of slipping through here, which is what I'm starting to create back here. Been doing a lot of TSI, so the unfortunate side to that is it's going to be harder to slip in here, especially like I'm trying to do this morning. Just hoping those birds are all up there where I saw them, but if I can get set up in here, I like my chances. I got the wind out of the south. It's supposed to blow a little stronger, but I'll do some soft calling. They should be able to hear me from back here. Beautiful morning though. Well, I see a hen for sure. I'm gonna back off and try to find a better spot. Gosh darn it. There's a deer blowing too. That's not good. Let's try one of these side trails. This trail back here opens up and I've planted some clover. It curves around and goes right out to that main plot where I just saw that hen. So I'm gonna tuck in here to this cedar. It'll be kind of one of those, won't have much video, but that's okay. I'm bow hunting, I'm not using a blind, so I need the cover. Alright, I didn't like that last setup, so I just snuck around, clear around. I'm out. Basically, where I just saw those hens, I circled and made a big loop around. And I'm going to try to set up on the timber, but I want to get the decoys out in the open where they can be visible. That's kind of been the problem the last times I've been up here. It's going to be tough getting them out here, but I think I got a good little pocket back here that we did some cedar clearing on. I can get them in. Well, I got tucked up in here by the cedar. Unfortunately, spooked a deer. Just off of that plot. I'm assuming they're still on it, but I haven't confirmed it. I've got a lot of hinge cut trees in here that I'm unable to see that plot, which is a good thing, but I'm assuming they're right through that, but I haven't heard anything to confirm it. But it's kind of that mid, that off the roost, they kind of gobble quite a bit and then they go silent. That's about the time frame we're in. It should be getting out of check probably close to 8:30 or so. I hate to film out of the same spot, but it actually doesn't even look like the same spot since we did all this clearing. It's good to see though, we got all these hinge cut trees that are, popping leaves at deer level, and the deer thick back here. That's been the trouble. I was kind of slipping around this plot this morning trying to try a little bit of a later morning hunt, but that's always tough. There was 3 hens out here, no toms with them, but there was definitely a tom I saw north of here, so the wind's out of the south. I'm just hoping this wind, it's picking up, so I'm going to maybe break out the striker, do a little bit of a higher pitch. But they like coming back here when it gets hot. There's good shade, so I'm supposed to get warm today. Got maybe an hour or so left to try. I don't have a whole bunch of time today, but I'm going to go do some burning over here too. So again, kind of multitasking, but got to do that, keep on top of things. Just a growing season away, but beautiful morning, May 1st. Gotta be kidding me. That's exactly how my morning's going right there. Had to turn around for my diaphragm this morning after getting up late without setting my alarm. I just stood up to take a leak out the back. I thought I heard something walking. I thought, well, that's probably just a deer. Literally just get done peeing out of the back here. And I turn around. And out in front of the blind, right at the decoys, is a tom putting. Oh my God, he came in quiet on me. Gosh. got this big tom out here. It's May 2nd. Morning of May 2nd. It was super windy this morning. It's actually probably died down a little bit, but I didn't hear a single gobble off the roost, and I just kind of got aggressive because I was going to go hit the road because I just thought it was dead. Tom gobbled pretty close, but he came out pretty wide, and you can tell he's just an old, smart bird. He was wanting to bring the hen to him, and I thought that Jake might get him fired up. He's kind of skirted, and he's kind of working around this little creek, but this little drainage, but there's a rise here, so he could easily just commit, and I wouldn't even see it. But I'm going to try to keep tabs on him here. I just broke out the slate call, hoping that might help, but he's gobbling every time I, yelp at him. He's straight behind me. He made a big loop. I kept hearing him drumming, but he acts like he wants to come now, but we'll see. Maybe he'll get the right angle, but this isn't good if he comes up this way. The hen is like 10 yards behind me. He's drumming right over this rise. This is not good. Oh my gosh. He's right behind me. Right behind me. Well, that didn't work out so well. That big tom came in straight behind there, had two hens. They were coming right to the decoys, and it was really the setup that was the issue. I just didn't have a lot of cover. We're starting to get a little thicker, but it was definitely a tree that I shouldn't have been in for that direction. I could have got away with it if it had came from the way he started, but those hens got around there and they could see my camera setup. I think I never did try to film. I just was rock solid, but it's just too open, and didn't work out. So I'm going to hit the road here and see if I can find a bird or two, maybe a couple pieces I can drive by and kind of take a peek, or probably end up going and setting up somewhere if I can't locate something. All right, I decided to go ahead and try to sneak up where I was yesterday up here. Basically the backside of our farm. Try to set up in the corner of this little bean field and see if I can get tucked up under these pines. There is a hen here, and I thought I just heard a tom gobble. So as I was pulling in, I thought I saw one over the rise of this bean field, but I don't see anything out there now, so I'm going to slip in this corner. He may be real close. Well, I just answered that question. I'm going to set up right over here real quick. This isn't going to be much footage, if any, but I snuck in here. They're probably 50 yards right over here in this other field. They just left this bean field, I think, though, because I'm pretty sure I saw just the tip of a fan when I was actually pulling in. So that kind of confirmed it. They're right across this. They must have just left, but there's freshly planted corn. I'm tucked into this cedar, and I won't have much for video, but I'm going to try it. hit it. That bird was committed. Within the last 5 years, these birds have gotten really, really tough. I think there's some extra outside pressure I'm not aware of because I don't hunt them that hard. I mean, I try to hunt them smart too. And that bird, I mean, this setup actually is perfect. But he was drumming back in here. He never would gobble, and then he finally started working away. And I cut a few times, and he started gobbling at that. And then I heard that drumming getting louder and louder, and he came right out of here. Had him at 10 yards, but I need him to commit and actually get the tail fan up before I can draw my bow. I mean, I wish my daughter, Brenna, was with me. That would have been, and that bird needs to go. I'm pretty sure he's the same one that's given us some fits over the last couple of years. Probably the same one I had yesterday come in silent on me. And